What's going on, workforce? Ryan here for Work2Game. Is it destiny? Or is it fate? That we're talking about fates today. So just to be clear, what I want to focus in on is not the fate system that we have today, but the idea of a world fate. A server-wide event that's going on over any period of time, whether it be week to week or month to month. This stems from my experience with Final Fantasy XI and the Conquest system. Every week, the points were tallied, and everybody's effort in particular zones totaled up all into a grand number, which meant that a particular region controlled that zone. Now, I don't think that system would work well in Final Fantasy XIV unless various lore was changed, unless the beastmen themselves wanted to try and take back zones and things like that. Some NPC element that if we weren't doing things in that zone, that we would lose ground. But I want to take the ideas of the fates that we currently have and apply them to how this could be something that is shared completely among the community as of right now. So if we look at the core principle of a fate, it's a public event that anybody who runs into it is immediately level synced if they're too powerful for it, and they are allowed to participate with varying rewards. But right now, outside of the diadem, they really aren't good for much other than like leveling and an occasional drop or achievement. Now, that all being said, what if there was a weekly world server-wide fate everybody was participating in? Now, it would complete at the end of the week, and it would have various phases. So phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, all the way out to, n number of phases that had numerous different tasks for anybody to complete. So each phase of the week-long event would consist of various tasks from crafting, gathering, dungeoneering, raiding, just you name it, running fates, or even focusing on specific boss fates that are in the game right now that maybe be underused or even long forgotten. I thought about talking about this in my open world content video, but I ended up cutting it out because it ended up being so big of a topic in and of itself. I wanted to save it for you guys today, and that's what we're doing here. So just to kind of break out a few more details about it. So I talked about the phases. So based off of your participation, let's say you were able to run 10 dungeons, and the total cumulative would be 100 dungeons that needed to be run for that particular phase. As you go and run those dungeons, overall, everybody who's participating is getting credit for that, and you're earning points for your grand company or even your free company. Essentially, the massive amount of statistics that they could compile together just to really kind of show very interesting things and break out rewards and just celebrate the community at the end of every week, I think it could be staggering and very exciting. Obviously, the system would have to be built, but built around what already exists. Something like, Final Fantasy XI's Conquest system, something like 14's 1.0 Hamlet defense system. These are all these little systems that, we have experienced in, the Final Fantasy series, but also in other games as well, that I think do this really, really well and are pretty fascinating. So I would love to know your thoughts on those ideas as well. And so there's a precedence to this. Even 1.0 had the Hamlet defense system. So for, I believe, 36 hours, crafters and gatherers could supply the Hamlets with materials that allowed them to build up their defenses. And then after that period of time, then you could go and, I think it was maybe even for 24 or 48 hours or some period of time, that the battle classes could go in and battle it out. Heck, you could even bring in crafters into that level of content. And whether that content was successful or not, it essentially did exactly what I'm wanting this system to do, which is bring people together and have us all participate in the war effort. But let me get into a little bit more details on how this system could potentially work using a 1 week time frame as the base example for how the content would be scheduled. So each week, this new server-wide fate would start, and everybody is automatically opted into it, just like how fates currently work right now. There wouldn't be any necessary need for level syncing or any of that, because there would be multiple goals that you're participating in, and by just participating in the content that exists, you're already participating in the overall server's effort into completing the various tasks that the various phases listed out. And the number in which that needed to be completed would obviously vary. In fact, it probably should take in server population and previous participation into setting reasonable, but yet still goals that are going to require you to actually put a little effort into it. So, and then after each phase has been completed, there might be some kind of cooldown of say like 30 minutes or some amount of time before the next phase actually begun. And I think it would be even more interesting is that after these phases are completed, your goal, there isn't any hard cap on the number of phases in a particular server-wide fate for the week. And so maybe we would even be competing against other servers that are matched around the same size to see how many phases can be completed by the entire community in a given week, and then having those numbers posted and that posted out to the entire community so you can see, hey, this server is #1 in participating in this content. All in all, I think it both brings people together, but at the same time also gives some friendly competition for data centers perhaps. Just for example, and no real hard numbers here, something like kill 1,000 dodos or run 500 leveling dungeons could be part of that phase's objective. Now, your participation might be that you've killed 10 dodos and run 5 dungeons, but you're not participating in these goals alone. These are shared by the entire server. And just like Fates now, after each phase completes, you would get ranked based off of your participation, and then rewards would be mailed out to you, and you would receive those in your mailbox. So even if you aren't online, you would still be receiving the rewards for participating in the event while you were online. And obviously once the week is completed, rewards would be mailed out to the various participants, and you would receive an overall ranking for your total participation in all the various phases. Now, as to what the rewards would be, obviously we could sit here and debate what would be the motivation behind it, but essentially it's just that there is a participation going on in the content that exists, and as they add in new content, they could even incentivize more focus in on any particular thing during any particular phase during any particular week. So obviously this doesn't have to play out the way that I've prescribed. It can really happen in any other ways, but the theme that I'm really getting at, just like I was kind of getting at in my open world content video last week, is that sense of everybody's working towards a particular goal, and that's what open world content can bring. Something special you can do while you're waiting in queue to do something that you also want to do. Just little things that can help both occupy your time and then also make the world a more interesting and livelier place. So I'm hoping this is something that Stormblood brings to the table, for us as a community to fight together to resist the Empire. That is a theme that I'm really looking forward to, I guess, exploring and seeing what Yoshi P and team bring to the new expansion. Anyway, for Work to Game, my name's Brian. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I hope to see you in my next video. But until then, take care. Hey, it's me. Thanks so much for watching this video. You should click here to subscribe and here to maybe check out some more of our videos. So again, thanks for watching. We hope you like this video. We hope you subscribe and join our community. Let us know in the comments below what you think, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Keep chasing what you can't finish. I'll sit still. There's only one thing left to do. Just watch.